This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Middle-aged American, another way, I am an aging man. If I manage to get a couple more decades and, you know, stay off drugs, don't get in a car accident, don't hang around drug dealers, don't join a gang, you know, forget skydiving, not a victim of terrorism, or not eaten by a shark, and of course avoid heart disease, stroke. Stroke almost got me when I was in my 30s. Oh, shoot. I got to get... I thought I had enough battery power. I don't. This is unrehearsed. This is going to be very inefficient. It is unrehearsed. It is unscripted. There we go. Okay, so eventually, if you know, some type of accidental death or medical death doesn't get me prematurely, then invariably, look at old people. They break hips. They need knee surgery. They have problems with their shoulder. So this is the gig. Yoga is the answer, right? No, it's not. Fake yoga is the answer. So that's the title of it. I call it fake yoga, fake ballet. I claim it's neither of them. I told a friend about this, and he said, yeah, I'll wait to see, because I told him I'd show him pictures. And he made the mistake of saying, okay, I'll look at your pictures. So I'm not doing pictures, I'm doing a video. Here's a promise I made to this friend. I told him you could do this with things that you have around the house. He probably doesn't have a short water noodle, but this is an ordinary water noodle. I just happen to cut it short because I use this for shipping. So rather than have all that bubble wrap all over the place or the popcorn stuff, I keep this around and then I just chop it. Well, that represents about shipping 3 computers. What I mean is the part that is not here. So I have this piece, and this is a CVS bag. Everybody has a bag like that. Might not be CVS, depends on where you live. So here we go. I'm going to show you how to do fake yoga or fake ballet. Knife. This is, you know, I want to say don't try this at home. Try this at home. I'm going to be careful not to cut myself because I'll be putting the blade and some force toward my other hand. So here we go. I'm cutting. And now it's open. Now it's open. And then I'm going to go over here and cut again. Whoops. Now I'm not cutting toward my hand. I don't know why I did the first time. I'm not the second time. But that second cut seemed a little safer. So now I'm done with the knife. Now I have this open. Okay, fake yoga, fake ballet. Here we go. So now I have that. That's ready to go. I'm going to set that down on the computer keyboard. Because of the positioning of the webcam, it doesn't show up on the image. CVS bag. Handle on right, handle on left. Tear. Boop. Now I have a CVS bag torn in half. 2 handles, handle on left, handle on right, put one in the other, simple loop around knot, and voila! Now I just have a strip of plastic. Next step, take this, I'm going to attach this to my leg. So now, water noodle, short water noodle, is now going to be attached to my leg. And you see the final results of this, you're going to know that. So now I have water noodle attached to my leg. Listeners, this is inspired by not wanting to do this the correct way. If you look at a dancer and watch them do Pilates, that's the wrong word. I don't know what the position. I used to have some ballet vocabulary. It's escaped me right now. But when they do the thing at the bar and they put their heel over the bar and then they slide down and stretch, that's awesome. But you got to have a bar and you got to be serious. This is fake ballet, fake yoga. This is for the not serious people. My other motivation to do this today is watching Dr. Oz. Now, he had a guest who had made a transformation of his life. He now does yoga. He wrote a book. He meditates at his ex-wife's house. That's one thing I heard. Now, usually a middle-aged man would make excuses about why I was watching daytime television. I will not make excuses. I was watching daytime television, Dr. Oz, and next thing I see this man who's an author next to Dr. Oz, and they're both standing on their head. So why am I motivated to do this today? Because I'm thinking about the studio audience. If he's got a huge audience, which he does, of course, compared to what I have, if I have 5, he has 500,000. Still, none of them are going to go stand on their head tonight, or tomorrow, or next week. Some of them might think I will. I got a phone call. Norden, amigo, I got to call you back.
Okay.
Ciao, ciao, ciao. So none of them are going to stand on their head tonight or tomorrow. Some of them might think they will, but my point is, no standing on the head. We're going to stand on feet. Again, this is unscripted. It is unrehearsed. It's supposed to seem like a hacker amateur version because it is fake yoga. It is fake ballet. And here we go. So now I have this attached to my leg. Over here, my name tag. This is, well, that's the tip of that receptacle there on the wall right here. That is an ordinary height, which is like 40 inches. This is, well, here, I'm 6'3". This is about the height of my leg. Okay, so now I'm moving into my fake yoga and fake ballet. Here we go. That wasn't really in the best position there. That's a little better. So this is my theory. If you just do a stretch, again, not Dr. Oz and his guest. Stay on your feet. Do not stand on your head. But listeners, if you decide standing on your head is a good idea, like 1 in 10,000 will do it and sustain it and put it into their life. Those people will begin to have an event in their life, make a significant change for their future. Everyone else will try it once or twice or not do it at all, and that will have no effect on their life. But this is much doable. Stay on your feet, upright. Don't even sit in a chair. There's a lot of exercises in your chair. Nobody does those. Maybe some people do. So the key is, with this thing on my leg, I can put my leg up and move my foot. So now, as I told my friend, who is a heterosexual man and married, I said, how often are you ready to leave the house before your wife? And he said 9 out of 10 times. So men, you got a couple of minutes. When you're burning some time waiting for your wife, here's the problem. If you're kind of both eager to go, and you sit down, you're going to have your cell phone probably, and you start using your cell phone, then your wife thinks you're no longer hurrying, your wife or your girlfriend, whatever. Now your wife thinks that you're no longer hurrying, and so she kind of slows down. That's why you need to stay on your feet. So there you go. That's the exercise. Now I'm going to show, I've advanced this personally, but this is where you start, right there. Now I can start leaning over, blah, 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 blah. That's the first stage. Obviously, you can go up, 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 and I'm going to show you as high as I've got, which is quite high, and it might impress someone. If it impresses none of my listeners, I will tell you it has impressed me, because I've got much higher than I ever imagined I would. So for the next step, I no longer need the water noodle. So now this is, listeners, that's a bucket. Now I'm all the way up here. I'm going to have to change the angle of the camera. So now this has got to go over a little bit. Again, unrehearsed, unscripted. This is amateur yoga. This is amateur ballet. It's unscripted. It is unrehearsed for a reason. I lose my name tag. I don't like that. Okay, so here we go. Now, you listeners, you cannot see this on the camera, but I have shoes in the way. Again, unrehearsed, unscripted. So here we go. Now this, if you start with the water noodle, now look at this. I'm 6'3", almost 6'4". Look at that, listeners. It's at the height of my arm. That's my arm comfortably rested on that. This is a travel pillow. I recovered it from the trash. Not random trash. My wife was throwing it away. I didn't get this off the street. Home Depot bucket, name tag, travel pillow. So now I'm up this high. Again, I'm 6'3". So I'm about 40 inches here. Stack of books. You can count these books. You know, these are coffee table books. I've got like 6 of them. Home Depot bucket, travel pillow. And now I got my arm. I'm just trying to, listeners, I'm trying to give you a sense of the height. So here we go. Watch this. This is supposed to be impressive. If none of you are impressed, the number of people that are impressed is not 0, because I'm really amazed that I was able to get this high. And I did it in about, I've been doing this for about 2 years. So now, this is what's remarkable. Now, this is what I told my friend. Listeners, if this is something you think you can't do, it's probably because you can't. Well, I couldn't either when I started. So now what's remarkable is that this looks very uncomfortable, but I become comfortable. So I can actually lay my head down like this. You can hear my voice has changed because my breathing is a little restrained. But I can pick my head up, and now I can speak comfortably. So what does that mean? I'm going to demonstrate. So reading glasses back on, cell phone in hand. This is the reality of things. Dr. Oz and his guest cannot. So now again, when my head's down like this, you can hear my breath is strained. I just pick my head up a little bit. Now I'm perfectly comfortable. Again, I'm not in, this took me a year to get this way. But now I can sit here comfortably. I gotta. And that call that interrupted me gave me a message here that says I got a call. So that fellow I'm going to call back. So now I'm going to go to news. And now here's the news. I could go to Twitter or Facebook or whatever. Okay, so now I have Google News. And the headlines are, severed head found in Philippines may belong to Canadian hostage. Okay, this is in the New York Daily News. I'm not going to read that headline again. Reading it once was enough. Manila, Philippines, police found. So I'm going to read the rest of this paragraph. Listeners, what I'm trying to demonstrate is this looks like a crazy, uncomfortable position, but yet I can comfortably read the news. So I'm going to read this paragraph. In other words, if I'm down like this, that becomes difficult for me. Of course, if I wasn't reading the news out loud, then whatever. But if I back off a little bit, I can easily do this. Again, comfortably. Police found the severed head in the southern Philippines on Monday and are examining whether it belongs to a Canadian hostage who's believed to have been beheaded by Abu Sayyaf militants. That's a new group that they decapitate. They're suspected of decapitating people. They are Abu Sayyaf militants after a ransom deadline passes, officials said. So I have a feeling this hunch is not just a hunch. They have good reason to believe it belongs to this Canadian body. Now, I still don't know where the body is. Okay, so anyways, my point is, to my friend, I said the reality of it is you get a minute in today's info overload world, you get a minute to do this, and next thing you know, your phone goes ping, or it rings, and something needs your attention, and you quit. But this amateur yoga, fake yoga, fake ballet, now I can read my cell phone. This fake ballet, fake yoga fits into people's daily lives when Dr. Oz standing on the head and just about any exercise you can imagine does not fit into a daily life. You try to fit it in your life and you're going to quit. Most people will quit. Again, Dr. Oz and his guests were very convincing today, but they have a huge audience and they will probably get 0 people to make this change in their lives. Obviously, you know, provided you're a fully able 2-legged person. There we go. Now I can do the other leg. And the same thing holds true. I can answer my phone or whatever. Now, on this occasion, I'm doing this plus the video, and my wife is cooking. So our kitchen is over there, and dinner's ready soon. So this is the kind of time I can read news. I answered that phone. If I wasn't making a video, I would have been doing this, and I would have talked to Noordin. But as it is, I'm doing a video, so I couldn't take that call. But I could take a phone call and continue to do this. All right, in summary, take a water noodle that at the beginning of this video looked like this, and then with a knife, it looks like that. This gets to attach to the other side of the leg, tied on with a plastic bag, and then I can use this as a cushion between me and the edge of the table. The reason why I go through the trouble of this is, from my experience, keeping the foot unrestricted, to me, makes all the difference in the world. When I look for places to do this, I look for a place where I can stretch my leg over something and I can keep my foot movable. So that means it can't go up onto a surface. Like if there's a wall and I can't get my foot to the other side of the wall and have my foot unrestricted, then it doesn't work. I need to be able to have my foot hanging off something. So this effectively does the same thing just as this does. So again, this goes under the leg, and this is for the beginner. I'm no longer a beginner. These two go together to allow a lower positioning, and then up, 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 all the way up to this. I don't think I could physically get higher. I mean, even if I became more limber, I think this is maximum height for me. Again, my elbow height. So in summary, this is some version. Sounds great. Speak to you tomorrow. I just can see, this is the kind of point. I just got a text right now confirming an appointment on Long Island. Just before this video, I sent a message to say this, I can catch train A or train B. I'm going to be tight for train A. If I miss, I'm going to get train B, and I'll tell you which train I'm on. I'm going all the way out to Port Jefferson tomorrow on Long Island. So my point is, this is life. This is everyone's life. We get phone calls. We get messages. We get, retweets. This is the stuff that is just constantly in our lives. And if we put in Dr. Oz and his guest standing on one's head, you can't tweet while you're standing on your head. You don't think tweeting is that important? It's the equivalent of tweeting that will prevent you from doing real yoga like Dr. Oz wants you to do, and his guest, certainly. He's a vegan. He wrote a book called The Happy Vegan. Cool guy, impractical. So this is attempted to be a more practical version of doing the right way. This is called fake yoga or fake ballet. I think it's some hybrid of the two. The purpose, again, I'm an aging man, middle-aged man. If I manage to stay out of gang violence, stay out of violent relationships, abusive relationships, stay off of drugs and alcohols, I'm not killed in a car accident, I'm not killed in terrorism or killed by a shark, and I manage to avoid heart disease, stroke, and cancer, now all of a sudden something's got to go. It's going to be a hip, a knee, a shoulder, and it's a problem. So this is kind of something that is practical, and it fits in my life when everything else failed. Doing it right failed. Doing it wrong is successful. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.